always leave when the light starts to fade. But I found a strength I didn't see in the vows we never made. You held your feet like a suitcase, ready for the day you'd go. But I'm still here in the wreckage, finding beauty in what I know. It takes courage to stay when the nights get long and cold, when love feels more like labor than the stories we were told. It's easier to run away, but I'm choosing heart over pride. It takes courage to stay, and I'm staying the night. We've seen the walls start to crumble and the laughter lose its flame. There's grace in the stumble and truth in the ache.
I'm so happy to see you today. You know, I have been trying to film a video for about 2 hours, but across the street they're cleaning up their leaves and they got these big machines and they were so noisy. So here I am, a little worse for wear, but you look marvelous. I'm so happy to see you. How you doing, everybody? Did you have a good week? I hope you had a good week. I had a really good week. I had some adventures this week. I kind of ventured out because I was feeling better, and I don't know, I went down some streets that I wasn't familiar with, and I had my camera with me, and I was filming, and I was meeting new neighbors, and it was really exciting. And I thought, you know, I'm going to do that more often. Just pick a couple kind of beautiful streets and walk down and film and meet people, and why not, and take you with me. And it's nice to meet your town like that. There are all kinds of adventures in life that you can have, and sometimes the simplest ones are the most precious. So I had a really good time, and it was just wonderful, some of the people that I met. So I do hope you enjoy some of that footage of a couple new streets I went down. Locust and Stewart. How about that? You know, last week you loved that video and you loved me answering some of those tough questions. But you know, some footage got lost and there were a couple questions I really wanted to answer. You asked me some of these things a lot, and even though they're hard, I wanted to give you an answer, and I couldn't believe that the footage got lost. So that's what I wanted to do today. I wanted to kind of pick up where we left off last week. We were talking about estrangement and expectations, and yeah, it was very moving and very touching, and you teach me so much every week. I think that's why I love you so much. And I want to ask you a couple things about, would you like to go on a destination? Would you enjoy that at all? I just kind of think about that for a minute, and we'll see what we come up with. All right.
Maybe time will heal, maybe it won't, but love's not a promise, it's a choice we own, and I'd rather fight for something real.
When am I going to retire? How much longer am I going to be filming? How much longer do I plan on being on YouTube with you? And I get that question quite a bit lately, and I wonder why. Maybe it's because of my age now. I don't know. It'll be 11 years this coming March since I've been here. I was watching somebody, and they were talking about, since they're older, they've been on YouTube for 15 years, and everything they do is harder for them. They edit more slowly, they can't come up with new video ideas, and their views are down, and they don't feel that they're reaching their audience. They don't feel relevant anymore, and obviously they're getting ready to retire. Well, I don't feel like that. I don't find it difficult to come up with video ideas because, well, we have conversations. In other words, I say something, you write something in the comments, and that's the next video. So it's a give and take here. We do fun things, we do girl stuff, we do clothes and makeup and skincare, and that's so much fun. And then we do what it's like to grow older as a woman in the United States. And we talk about that all the time. We talk about grief, and well, you know what we talk about. We talk about everything. Nothing is off the table. So coming up with ideas, no. And I'm actually faster now at 70 when it comes to editing and filming and lighting and all that. I'm just, well, anything you do for 11 years is, you should get a little faster at it, right? Okay, don't think about that too long. I guess what I can honestly say is I've always been the kind of woman that wants a challenge, and I like something new. My greatest fear in life is to be bored. So the minute I become bored with this, the minute that when I pick up my camera and I'm under a tree and I'm filming and I'm bored, that's when I'll stop. Because once I'm bored, if I'm bored, you're going to be bored. If I'm passionate, hopefully you'll be passionate. Sometimes I think we'll grow old together. And other times I think I need to expand my horizons. I need to go perhaps live a different life. I mean, I'm not that I'm going to leave the country. I mean, just maybe a freer life, maybe uploading every other week instead of every week, something like that, so I can expand my horizons and travel perhaps. But all I can say is I have no plans right now to retire. And the bottom line is basically, I still love it. I still love it. And I love you. Why don't you ever include God in your videos week after week? You say you're a spiritual person. You say you go to church, but you never talk about God. Why is that? And, I honestly don't feel that I do leave God out of my videos, but I understand your question. And I'm going to be totally, brutally honest here. Yeah, deep breath. My channel is monetized, and that means that I give YouTube permission to run ads throughout my video, and then I generate an income from those ads. I also, share sometimes sponsored videos where I show you clothes and makeup and skincare, and I do that anyway, but all of that, I have affiliate links in the info box below my video, which means if you click on it and you like the blazer I showed you and you buy it, I get a little bit of money from that. So that, I don't make a lot of money here, but I make some. I make enough to support me and Desi. So obviously I make some money here. Well, as long as this is a monetized channel, I do not want to manipulate you in any way. I do not want to soften you up or make you feel guilty. And I do not feel that talking about God is appropriate. I don't ever want to use God's name when it comes to me making money. We share our lives here. We don't talk about, or let's just say this, we don't ask each other about what religion we are, who we vote for. We don't get into that here. You know why? Because there is so much love here, and we have found this amazing common ground that women share, our strength, our ability to look within ourselves and to learn and to grow, to help one another. It's so precious, going from, hey, these are quince clothes, to, did you read the Bible this week? And let me tell you what I think you're doing wrong. I don't ever, ever, ever want to go down that road. I'm not qualified, and it's not my calling. That does not diminish my love for my faith. But sometimes faith can be private. There we go. I'm sorry I gave you a hard time
No,
there.
it's okay.
I couldn't figure out what I wanted. All right. And what did I get again?
You got a caramel latte with mocha.
You think I'm going to like it?
I hope so. Have an amazing rest of your day.
Desi, what happened to our pretty garden? It's November 1st. That means the clocks fall back. So we're going to get an extra hour of sleep. But boy, that sun is going to go down fast. Susan, I know you're Italian, and the one thing I do not understand is how can you have an Italian family and not fight all the time with your son? And I love that question, because I did come from an Italian family, and everybody fought with everybody. It was crazy. It was not that unusual at Christmas time for somebody to pick up the Christmas tree and hurl it across the room. I kid you not, honestly. Just everybody fought with everybody. Except, my mother and her father, they never fought. Well, I guess maybe that's not quite true, but not fight. They would argue about the heat. My grandpa was always cold, my mother was always warm. Okay. But now, no, my son, I think, is kind of an old soul. He never raises his voice to me. I don't think he ever has. He's just one of those guys, honor your mother and your father, and he'll call me out. It isn't, Mommy, can I button your coat? He's not that type. Nothing wrong with that type. Well, I don't know. But he'll call me out. He'll say, oh, come on, Mom. Don't go down that road, or something like that. So we have an honest relationship. I feel I can say almost anything to him, and he can say anything to me, but we don't fight. Halloween is tomorrow. There's a Halloween party. And it's going to be so much fun, because every year to be here and see my grandchildren dress up, it's so cute. So I can't wait till tomorrow. Thanksgiving will be in a couple weeks. What do you think about that? Oh, you love turkey. Let's face it, you like everything, don't you? Yeah. In last week's video, I talked about expectations, and boy, did that hit a nerve. All the times we expect something from a friend or a family member, or our job, or almost anything. Sometimes it sets us up for such disappointment, and people resent it that perhaps they feel we're demanding. And I talked about when I turned 70, I gave up having expectations for the most part. I still work on it sometimes, but I'm so much happier. But you taught me something so important last week. because expectations is a two-way street. And you were talking about, your mother-in-law or your sister or your brother or somebody in your life that just makes you feel so guilty because you didn't make the party or you didn't do the phone call like you said you would, and so on and so forth. Just so much pressure because they have expectations on you. And boy, did that open up my eyes to so much. And after I was reading all your comments, I realized that people's expectations it's about them, isn't it? It's not about us, it's about them. They try to put their baggage and everything that they need and they want, they put it on us. So when we feel sometimes inside, well, we're letting them down, it's not us that's letting them down. It's everything that's happened in their lives that have led them to that point of feeling that they have to make demands on us that we can't possibly live up to. You have to, when you love someone or you have a deep friendship, there's a freedom there that the expectations fall away. When one of you talked about how other people's expectations for what you're supposed to feel or say or do was wearing you down until you realized it's not about you. It's about them. And you call them out. And you know what? Most of the time they stop. I know my mom did. So thank you for that gift that you gave me. Life, it just seems like it's passed me by. I'm not where I thought I would be at this age, and I will never, ever be able to realize my dreams or the hope I had for my life. So I don't feel like doing anything. I've just given up. And I got that comment, and I read it, and I couldn't shake it. And all throughout my day on Monday, that's all I thought about. This woman, this beautiful woman who left a comment on last week's video saying that she's had it. She didn't have any hopes or dreams left. All right, so what do I do when something's on my mind? I go to the thrift store. The first thing I see is this beautiful painting. I couldn't get it in my cart fast enough. I brought it home. It's an original signed painting by a very well-known artist, so I love it. But the second thing that I saw at that thrift store was a sign that said, "You are exactly where you need to be." And I just couldn't believe it. And it hit me. It hit me like somebody had just slapped my face and said, "Wake up, girl." And it made perfect sense that I am exactly where I need to be to begin again, to start brand new. It doesn't matter where I've been. It doesn't matter what I've done. It matters right here. This is exactly where I need to be to start my life over again. That is exactly how I felt. What was it? 2012. My mama died. My husband filed for divorce. My doggie died. I got hit by a drunk driver. Yeah, okay, let's just give up. No, I was exactly where I needed to be. I hit bottom. And I started brand new. And I'm happier now than I've ever been all these years later. But back then, would I have felt that way? Absolutely not. I felt like all my dreams, forget it. My whole life is up in ashes. What am I gonna do? So when I saw that sign, I could not buy it fast enough. At the end of the day, I was carrying around this sign. You're exactly where you need to be. And I thought about my mom. And I thought about when she was right around 75 years old, because it was the year that I married Bill. I remember her telling me that she had no dreams left and she had no hope, that things were ever going to get better for her. And they had a little Christmas pageant that year, and this was like right around March. And she said, they've asked me to sing at the little Christmas pageant there, and there's 500 people that go to that pageant. And she said, I almost think that I'm gonna do it. And my mom was, right around 220 pounds at the time, and my height, 5'1". And she said, I think I'm gonna go on a diet, and I think I'm gonna practice singing every day. I'm gonna have a chance to sing 3 Christmas songs. And you know what I said to my mom? I said, Mom, are you sure you want to do that? I said that not because I didn't love her, not because I didn't want her to have that glorious night. I was just worried. I was worried that she was not in a good place to do that, to sing. And she had gotten her weight up so high, and it was hard for her to breathe. And I thought, okay. So there were all these negatives that were going through my mind. But my mother was like, I'm going to lose a little weight. I'm going to practice singing, and I'm going to do the pageant. Okay. There would be all those people that lived in her very large complex of apartments. All those people would be attending that little Christmas show. And I worried. I worried so much about her. Okay, so fast forward. Here was the woman 9 months later who told me she had no dreams and no hope. She was 55 pounds thinner. And there I was with my new husband, and there was my mom on stage. And there was a jazz organist that she knew from before, from her singing days, and she got up there and she looked beautiful. I'm so sorry. She looked beautiful and she sounded beautiful. And she was exactly where she needed to be when she said to me, I have no hopes and I have no dreams left. But she did. And it worked out so beautifully for her. I remember that night like it was yesterday. There she was. I'm so proud of her. And at 75, she never again ever said to me, I have no hope. She was a different person. I mean, life wasn't perfect for Mom, but she lived another 10 years. And she did so many things. She was a lot more social than me, but I'm just saying she had great expectations for herself. And it was beautiful. She was right where she was supposed to be. Exactly. To begin again. And once I realized that in my heart, that all of us are exactly where we're supposed to be right now. All of us are exactly where we are supposed to be. To begin again, if that's what we so desire. My mom and I had so many wonderful Christmases together, wonderful memories. After my mom died, I cleaned out her apartment, and I found so many pictures just like this, where she wrote on a picture of herself, Susie's mom. I always took that to mean somehow, some way, my mom knew I'd be okay. I really believe that. What do you like?
I like Kit Kat, Tootsie Rolls, and Dots and Reese's.
Oh, it's gonna be a good Halloween, huh, Bo? You wanna say hi to the ladies? What do you wanna say? What do you wanna say? What do you wanna say, little boy? Would anybody here be interested at all next spring or next summer going to a 3-day retreat? You know, one of those spas where, you know, you get massages and facials, and you get up in the morning and you meditate, or you do yoga. I don't know how to do yoga, so, you know, maybe they could teach me. I hope there'd be a bar. Anyway, I'm just kidding. But, you know, one of those, they have a beautiful one in Colorado. It's not too expensive. And it's more of working on yourself. And you have discussions, you know, with, you know, past, present, future type goals. And it just sounded kind of interesting. And I just thought, well, maybe 20, 25 of us could, you know, kind of book it and go, you know, during the same week. I don't know if you'd be interested in that at all. America's Most Wanted Recipes. Okay, I have to get this. Oh, Einstein. Do you think he could cook? I bet he couldn't. I bet his wife could cook. I bet she was the real genius.
Está la mañana en que vengo a saludarte. Venimos todos con gusto.
Toot toot for the Blue Jays. If they don't win, it's a shame. 'Cause it's 1,